This is it. This is the last one. So if you're tuning in now, if you're tuning in live, or if you're tuning in at a later time, then just stay tuned, because I want to let you know everything that I've got planned for the channel, everything I've got planned to be able to help you, and just want to be able to interact and say, kind of to the live element anyway, goodbye and thanks for being here, but then explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. And if you're wondering why I look like I'm in some kind of period drama, it's because I'm in Croatia at the moment. I am literally on holiday. I got here today, and we are just chilling out, just relaxing before we go out for dinner. It is 7 o'clock our time, so 6 p.m. British time. I realized that if I tried to do 7 o'clock British time, then it would be 8 o'clock here and we should be out to eat. So this is what I'm doing, and I'm doing it at 6 o'clock. So Sean's in and Winona. Hi, how you doing, guys? I feel weird. I'm having to keep my voice down even a little bit, because the walls seem to be quite paper thin, and I'm just like, I don't know if people will be annoyed with me talking loudly in a nice quiet hotel. So it is going to be a little quieter. And oh, Matt's in. How you doing? And two Matts. Yeah, I'm good. How are you all? The first thing I want to say is thank you, like genuinely thank you for everybody who ever interacts on any of my content, whether it be these lives, whether it be the tutorials on the Tuesday, or whether it be on the Sunday main vlog. It really means everything to me when people comment, or people like, or people just get involved in the conversation, because not all of my videos everyone agrees with, and I know that, and I get that, and that's kind of what they're there for. I've got a few coming in the next few weeks that are going to be a bit divisive potentially, and in fact, Matt, I really want to do that one with you in the next couple of weeks. So Matt Legrand is, if you don't know him, he's another YouTuber, triathlon based YouTuber that you should definitely go and check out, because his videos are way smoother than mine. I love watching them. They're very pleasing to the eye. So yeah, go and check Matt out. But we're going to be doing a video very soon, hopefully, with a pretty divisive topic, but one that I think is worthy of talking about. So what's going on? Why is this the last one? Quite simple, really. Since I started these lives, I have noticed a gradual but frustrating decline in the interaction on the channel, the subscriber number, in terms of how much it increases per 28 days, and all the kind of metrics that mean that my video is no longer, or my channel is no longer getting out there to as many people as I'd like it to. I did a little bit of research on this. I did a little bit of looking into it, because it could just be that my content is rubbish, and that's fair enough. And it has a shelf life, and I'm always looking to change it up. But at the moment, it is, people might think it's getting stale. I don't know. But the other thing that seems to stand out when you start looking into this is that YouTube needs to know what you are as a channel. It needs to know what you're about. It needs to know your niche, your content. It needs to know all of these things. And from what I gather, by doing live feeds and long form stuff, that is incongruent with the shorter, punchier tutorial and video stuff I do on a Sunday. And because this isn't necessarily completely focused about, running or exercise, it's more of a chat as well and an informal thing. It seems to, this is just from what I'm read, I might be completely wrong, it confuses YouTube, and therefore it doesn't know how to promote the channel best, where to push it. And I've never been about numbers. I've never been about subscribers. I was happy when I had 2. Honestly, that part of it doesn't bother me. But what I like is the ability to reach people. That's what I want. It doesn't really matter about the subscribers, but I want the content to be out there in order to help people. And it gets out there by a number of ways. It gets out there by making sure that you are really focused with your content and niche, and then YouTube knows how to push it. And it gets out there by people that watch the channel, word of mouth, sharing the content, and talking about the channel. those bits, I feel like you guys out there that watch the channel are amazing at that. You know, that aspect of it is brilliant. We're really growing a really lovely little community here. Can I show people, Mary? Mary's crawling.
Hi.
Mary was trying to crawl down behind me because she's just got out of the shower.
I am clothed.
Yeah, no, fair enough. That was just interesting to watch as I was trying to talk to the camera. You'd be doing that. Jack, have I considered moving the live streams to a different platform? I have, yes. And this is what I'm going to move on to, actually. So in terms of what I like to do, the reasons I like the interaction is I like to bounce off of people. I like to chat with people. And the live stream is good for that in one way, is that people hear you guys interact like this, which is brilliant. But I am also acutely aware that I'm at my best, and I like to have fun and you know, mess around and show the lighter heart of training when I'm bouncing off of people, directly with people. So what I propose to do is, in place of the live on YouTube, I think I mentioned this last week, I'm creating a podcast. And it's going to be with two of my friends, Sam and George, who are both top level GB age groupers, pushing to go even further. And I'm just like the old duffer that kind of is with them because they're my friends. But we plan to do a podcast called Fitness Freaks, which is going to be around the lighter side of training and racing, funny stories. We've got lots of contacts. We've got lots of friends, pros and coaches, and lots of those people that we can get on the show. And we're just going to try and keep it light, but try and provide value to people that are beginning their training or are in their training, because my main thing is showing people that training and racing and running and exercise is not something that is scary, and it's not something that you should stand away from, because there's lots of people who use all this crazy lingo and you're like, I don't know what they're talking about. I want it to be a full community of all abilities and everyone just working towards the same goal, which is to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And that's what Fitness Freaks I want to be about, is just to have a laugh and to show people that we're not serious. We take racing seriously, don't get me wrong, but we're very light-hearted, and and that's how I think running, triathlon, exercise should be. It should be something for life and enjoyable. So we're going to start a podcast. So I'm learning all about podcasts at the moment, and that's going to replace the YouTube live. And I'm really, really excited about that, because I think it can provide a lot of value, and especially when I've got two more people with tons of experience and also guests, professional athletes and things like that. We know a few that we're going to try and get on. So that's the route I'm going with this. So I'm keeping it not live, but it's going to be a podcast that people can listen to. So hopefully, let me know in the comments if you think that feels like that sounds like a good idea, then let me know. Or if you think it's a load of old tut, then let me know too. So that's really where I'm at. These lives have been great, and I know that I have helped people, and people have helped me through this, and interacting with everyone has been brilliant. And I don't see that changing, because I still do quite a lot. I'd like to do quite a little bit more, but I do stuff on Facebook as well. So on the Facebook channel, maybe I can improve or aim to increase the amount of live that I do there, and still therefore interact with people. And I do a lot of stuff on Instagram as well. So there are platforms there, but this one, the live, I think is going to have to go for the reasons I said before. It's just I need and want to reach as many people and help as many people as I possibly can. And at the moment, YouTube just doesn't know how to push the channel. Rob, podcast. You like the idea of a podcast, as you missed the live streams due to work. Now you're back with work. And do you know what? Actually, Rob, you're absolutely right. And the other thing I like about a podcast is that is different to these live streams is you don't need to see me. a podcast, you can just whack the phone in the pocket and listen. If you're on a train, you don't have to watch. And so they're more accessible. You know, I listen to podcasts or books when I walk the dog, or when I'm driving to work, or when I'm walking home from work and things like that. You couldn't necessarily watch a live thing. So I think podcasts are that little bit more accessible as well, really. Anyway, I've rambled on enough about that. This week's vlog on Sunday, I haven't finished it yet, but it should be, yes, Dustin, you absolutely, that's the point. Yeah, absolutely. You could listen while you're training. I listened to a few the other day whilst I was training and then cleaning the house. So, you know, podcasts are a much easier way of being able to learn and get content whilst not having to be focused and watch as well. So you can do other things whilst you're listening. So you're absolutely right. So this Sunday's video is an interesting one. I am on day 28 of a 30-day yoga program. And so this Sunday's video is going to be about whether I think that yoga has helped my training, has improved anything, whether that be flexibility or body awareness or anything like that, and where I think the genuine benefits are from doing yoga long term. And it's been interesting because I was always a skeptic of yoga, and I don't mean a skeptic as in it doesn't work, but you have a certain view of people who take yoga very seriously in your head, let's all be honest, and it's a stereotype, and it's completely wrong, and it's it's an outdated stereotype, and I get that, and I'm always trying to fly in the face of stereotypes. But I did, so my family, my sister and my mum have always been big into yoga. So, I guess I've been colored by that a bit because I know them, they're my family, and, and actually that's not what yoga's about at all. Some of the best athletes in the world, some of the strongest athletes in the world really, really take yoga very seriously. And it's something I'm now very seriously considering myself. So the video on Sunday should be quite interesting and hopefully a bit insightful, and hopefully will help you decide whether you could add yoga into your daily or weekly routine. You don't necessarily have to do 30 days back to back, but I just did it because I have the summer holidays, so it's easier for me to do. But at the same time, a lot of the athletes that I coach, I give them these 30 days of yoga, but I maybe give them 2 or 3 sessions per week. And so they get, over 2 to 3 months, they do the 30 days of yoga. I've been doing yoga with Tim, if you know who Tim is. I don't even know his surname, but he's a good dude. I think he's a surfer skateboarder because he says gnarly a lot. And he always talks about his sore shoulders from surfing. So, and then after I finish this 30 days, I'm going to do the 30 days with Adrienne, who is a different type of yoga, I believe, but I'm going to give that a go as well. So I'm going to do 30 days back to back with 30 days. And also, I've given up sugar again. I know I must be a glutton for punishment. I must be stupid, but I've done it because if you've seen if you haven't seen my sugar vlog, which was about November of last year, go and watch it if you're interested, obviously, because honestly, by the end of 30 days with no sugar, I felt the best I've probably ever felt in my adult life. It's unbelievable. And unfortunately, I couldn't hold on. I lapsed in lockdown. I lapsed back into it. I had to eat chocolate to get me through lockdown. I'm going to hold my hands up and be honest, we're all weak, and I certainly am in that respect. But this all was brought to a head a few days ago. I'm going to tell you a shame story of mine. I was at my in-laws up north with Mary, and my mother-in-law had very, very kindly bought me a salted caramel cheesecake. And she'd hid it from the family because she knew how much I loved it. She hadn't really, but it was at the back of the fridge. And I found myself one evening during, we were all outside chatting, we were all just talking, and I found myself, I almost wasn't in control of my body. I was like doing that. What's going on? And I found myself walking to the fridge. I didn't announce it. I walked to the fridge in the dark. So it was dark. I opened the fridge door and I just got the cheesecake out, and I ripped a quarter of it off, and I just shoved it into my face, almost like those things where they feed trees into the wood chippers, like that. And I just was like that. And in my head, the shame was just like building and building and building. And it got to a crescendo when the fridge alarm went off and started beeping, and everyone was like, what's going on? And they came in to investigate, and I had cheesecake around my mouth. So I went, okay, that's probably enough. Probably time to give up sugar now. So I have done for 30 days. I'm trying to get back into the strictness of it all. That was a moment of weakness. Got funny, and I'll hold my hands up and first admit it was funny, but yeah, not something I'm particularly proud of either. So no sugar. And if you haven't seen that no sugar vlog, then go and watch that from November and see what you think. See if you could do it. And I promise you could, and you will feel amazing if you did. Anything else to talk about? No, let me just show you my view before we go. I'm in Croatia. So hold up. We just got to Croatia last night. This is my view from our balcony. Can you see that? That's pretty cool, huh? I think it's the Adriatic Sea. I'm not entirely sure. That's a bit embarrassed to not know that, actually. But it's the sea. I should look that up. That sounds stupid now. Anyway, so if you have any questions for me before you go, if you just want to interact on this last live, then I'm right here. Ask away, shoot away. And while you're doing that, if you're writing questions, I will just share with you, I had an incredible email that I am about to reply to after this live today from, and exactly the reason that I do this, I got it from a guy, and I won't tell you his name, but essentially he was diagnosed with cancer late last year, and while he was undergoing quite heavy chemotherapy, he happened across my channel, and he just said, he was just so nice to me. He just said, the positivity from the channel and the training tips has made him decide that he wants to start running again. But even if he wasn't running, just he enjoyed the positivity and the way we look at life, Mary and I. And he said he's not a keyboard warrior, he doesn't usually contact people, but he just felt the urge to contact me. And honestly, it blew me away. It blew Mary away, and I'm about to reply to him. But it is the exact reason we do this is if I can help one person, if I can help one of you start a full lifetime relationship and a happy relationship with exercise or running or triathlon, then I will die happy. I will be happy for my life, because just trying to affect people and help people is what I'm all about. And I really genuinely appreciate, like I said before, your input, your support, your everything. So, I can't thank you enough. I kind of get quite emotional about it when I think about it for too long, because it's just mind blowing when you're on this journey. And for the longest time, I had under 300 subscribers, lovely people. Some of you probably watching this have been there from near the start, but it's starting to grow now. And I say starting because this is just the beginning for me, and I really believe that I want to be able to help hundreds of thousands of people. And you have to dream big, right? Because if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough. And I always say that to people. I have to believe that this is what I was meant to do, is help people. And if I can help one, I'm winning. Right. Let's have a look. Last couple of people. Kane, did I give up natural sugars or just refined sugars out of interest? Just refined, Kane. I carried on with fruit juice, but still not much. And I found other sugars like date syrup instead of syrup, so I could eat like a millionaire shortbread that was made out of cacao and date syrup. So there was ways around it. I just gave up the refined sugar, and I gave up the sugar in things like Ribena and ketchup and all the things unfortunately I love, but I stopped doing it. Ice cream, all of those, none of them I ate, which is, it was hard, don't get me wrong. Like the 30 days, the first 14 days was miserable, but once you're out, once your body understands you're not putting that in you, it accepts it, it makes you less hungry, it stops the cravings, and then you just feel like, I can't explain it. but I felt just alive. I just felt like my eyes were just like not dead, because they tend to look dead a lot. Really difficult to explain, but it's just the most incredible feeling. And it actually shocked me how much we probably as a society are dependent on your refined sugars for that real instant hit, and your body learns to just crave it like a lab rat. Dustin, doing a marathon training, is it pretty normal to be completely drained for 4 to 6 hours after the long run? The last long run, 27K in 22-degree heat, went well, but felt awful afterwards. Yeah, mate, that's hardcore. Did you hydrate whilst you were on the run? That's a big one, because 27 kilometers is massive. And if you underhydrated, you're going to feel awful. But for the most part, you'll probably feel a bit awful, but it can be limited by proper hydration and nutrition even on the training runs. You should always, on your long runs, practice your strategy for the race. So hopefully you were doing that. If not, it's no hassle, but like that's something that you need to think about implementing into your runs from now on, is really nailing hydration and really nailing nutrition, like constantly getting gels on board and getting good glugs of water or whatever hydration drink you drink. That's massive for long runs. So Matthew, you ran a sub 2 hour half marathon last Sunday, so I wanted to say thank you. The channel is great. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, mate. Well done as well. That's awesome. And that's a nice barrier for people, isn't it? It's like it's a good point that people want to try and beat, is the 2 hours. And when you do it must feel amazing. So well done. That's awesome. We've all got our barriers, and when you get through those, you feel like you can take on the world. So what's next, Matthew? That's always my question. What's next? What would I rate myself from 1 to 10? In what? In terms of what? What would I rate myself 1 to 10 in terms of sprint ability? 1. In terms of long distance ability? 7? I don't know. In terms of what's something that I can give myself a 10 out of 10 at? Probably nothing. I wouldn't want to give myself a 10 out of 10. It should be 9 at tops, because you always got to have that wiggle room. But I don't know what you mean, how I would rate myself. So Dustin, you've definitely been hydrating using gels, but you sure you need to figure out the balance between still being able to run and not being too full. 31K this Saturday. Oh, in terms of killing germs, what would I rate myself from 1 to 10 in terms of killing germs? I don't know. I'm going to give myself a solid 7, 6, 7. I don't know. Evening, Andy. So Dustin, yes. So you've been hydrating and using gels. You just need to refine that, refine the kind of fueling strategy, I guess. If you're too full, you might be over drinking. Maybe it's really difficult. I've never actually experienced being too full on a run. I gel. So my hydration and nutrition strategy, in case you're interested in the marathon, is I would take a gel every 30 minutes and I will drink in London Marathon every time I get to a water station. I'll take water on board because the gels have water too. While I'm out training, however, I'll drink every 15 minutes from my pouches that I have here. And I'll gel every 30 for long run training. Thinking community, if you held a world record, what would it likely be for? These are amazing questions, like completely random, but I'm enjoying them. If you held a world record, what would it likely be for? Mary, what would I hold a record for, world record for? Talking the most rubbish? Talking the most rubbish. Man who talked the most rubbish in 1 hour.
Pardon?
What would I hold a record for? A world record?
Ability to just leave things where you found them.
Did you hear that? My world record is my ability to leave things where I found them. I'm very good at it. I could be world champion.
Right.
Winona, speaking of the barriers, finally got a sub 45 10K last weekend. Brilliant. Hit 43.20. That's a massive chunk off sub 45. And some of the 10K conversations on these live chats definitely help. Well, I'm glad to have played a small part, but knowing you and seeing how you train, then it's all you. That's big. So well done. That's brilliant. And can I send a 2K plan in 7 minutes in 2 months? No, I can't. But if you did the 5K plan and then the 5K PB plan, you probably, or mix a bit of that, you'll probably get there. A little bit of intervals. If you want to get a PB, you tend to have to go higher than your race pace and way lower rather than running at the pace you want to run in training. Mark, would I advise against adding extra strength and conditioning or HIIT to your week during the latter 2/3 of the half marathon? I wouldn't advise against adding more strength and conditioning. More HIIT, yes, but more strength and conditioning in the way of like yoga or the single leg exercise workout that I do on the channel or anything like that. I certainly wouldn't advise against that. The more strength and conditioning, the better. I mean, I'm doing it every day at the moment. I'm doing yoga every day, and it is benefiting me. Spoiler alert for Sunday, but it is. So no, but HIIT, yes, no more than what is in the plan for sure. Sean, drinking coffee. Yeah, no, I do. I'm not giving drinking coffee up again. Talking of London Marathon, it's elite only this year. How do you know that? Is that out already? Because that's tomorrow, isn't it, the announcement? Okay, well, let's see what happens, because that means that I hopefully still have entry to the 2021 London Marathon qualifying anyway. Marco, what are your thoughts on running whilst fasting, e.g. in the morning without breakfast? Yeah, it hasn't worked for me particularly well, but I know people do it, and I know it is excellent for fat metabolizing, but it would depend on the distance of run. I've done it up to about 10K, but long run wise, I can't. But that's my opinion, and it doesn't work for me. I've cycled before, like the first half an hour of an hour and a half cycle, I've fasted, and then I've started taking fuel on. So I almost tried to kickstart the fat metabolism and then start to take the fuel on. But it doesn't necessarily work for me too well, sadly. Simon, evening, finally live video, hiding from your running buddies before the effort session tonight. Oh God, good luck. Everyone loves an effort session on a Thursday. And thanks for dropping in as well. And sorry that this is the last one, but there will be other stuff coming. I've now been asked if I could be any insect, what would I be? Stag beetle, they look really cool. Joe, Ben, you love the vids. What's my PB in the 5K? It's 18:18 is my PB 5K. I am absolutely convinced I could run it sub 18, but I've never been in the right shape and then done it because I've been training for other things. But currently 18:18, and that might never change now because I'm just going longer and longer, losing my speed, of which I didn't really have much anyway. Just been released now. Okay, so London Marathon this year is elite only. Did you just get an email? Oh, you just... What did?
On the news thing.
Oh, so Mary's just found out. Okay. All right. That's good. In fact, that's good because I'm not in the shape that I would need to be to run a sub 3 marathon, which is what I need. So any easy marathons for first timers? Andy, it depends where you want to travel to, because honestly, Seville Marathon was fantastic. I couldn't speak highly enough of it. It is superb. And if you want to get a flavor of it, me and Mary's videos, if you want to watch them, if you haven't, I would recommend Seville Marathon. We just went for a few days. It wasn't prohibitively expensive, but I understand, obviously, it's a cost involved of flying and hotel, but it was brilliant, superb. Okay, I'm going to go because we need to go out and eat, but just thank you so much. Keep interacting, keep commenting on the videos, let people know about the channel if you can. Let's try and build this community. I mean, you guys are part of the start of this, and I couldn't be more thankful. And I've said that like a billion times, but I genuinely am humbled by the amount of people that even are interested in my ridiculously boring life, as I think it is. But that's what we're all about, I guess, is finding the happiness in the mess. And that's why it's called This Messy Happy. So I'm checking out, and I'll see you on Sunday. Keep interacting. I'll see you for the podcast, hopefully in September, and I will give full warning, and it will be announced and everything so that people can find it. And keep doing what you love. Keep running. Keep enjoying. Don't let anybody stop you, and get other people into this crazy world of running. Like, let's start a revolution. A good one though, not a bloody one. I don't want anyone to die. I want like a nice, peaceful revolution of running. Okay, peace out. I'm going to go and eat pizza. Oh, and thanks for the 100th time.